Hey guys, this is Josh with Lambda School. We're going to be talking about percents and percent-based layouts. Let's go jump into it. So here on this example, you'll see that I have a container and I have two nested children, box 1 and box 2, and a p tag to show you that this is indeed a container. On my container, I have a set width of 800px, a solid red border so I can see everything, and I margined auto so I could center it. My container boxes are width 700px, and then I have backgrounds to showcase the different boxes. But the box base class has the same styles. It's very important to understand. All right, so this little exercise, we're going to flex our percent-based brains a little bit. Currently, we're very hard-coded, so 800px. Let's see what happens on a browser when we hit 800px and below. We get this crappy horizontal bar. We don't like that. That shows us that we really don't know what we're doing when it comes to percent-based layouts. And so we want everything to be super smooth and fluid all the way down to a phone. We have another fixed width here as well. Let's fix the first one though. So 100%, okay? That's the first thing we could do because percents are percent of the viewport. So this viewport right here, it's taking up 100% of it. And obviously we're inside a CodePen, so they have their own little styles going on, but this is as far as we can go. But let's see what happens when we hit the children. The children, they also are going beyond that. So box 1 and box 2 are going beyond the box, and we have a problem with that. So well, let's make them 100%, right? Now we've lost all semblance of a layout. This is not good. So one of the problems we need to address is form and design patterns. So over here, let's go to our container. And we have width 100%. And now we're going to introduce max width. So max width is going to be 800px, because that's what we had it originally. All right, now we see some semblance of our design. This is good. But our container, what was it before? It was 700. Well, 700px, we have to think about this and go, okay, this made more sense. It was the container. But the children, now we have to introduce a new concept here. So when you have a child inside of a parent and the parent is percent based, and in this case has a max width of 800, this is the only thing we can go off for the rest of the layout. This is a huge number as far as importance goes. It's not a huge number, it's 800. But so what we'll do is we'll take 700 and we'll divide it into 800. So 700 divided into 800 is 0.875. And so we can just convert that to, let's just try 87% and see what happens. So now we've changed our width to 87%, and voila, that's pretty awesome. So at this point, we've done really the basics of all percent-based layouts. Like we just did it. To recap, width 100% on the most the outermost container, sorry, constrained by a max width, and then we use the max width number for the rest of the app or website. With the children, they have to go against the parent, okay? Divide against it. So this is cool, but what if we wanted to lay this out and let's make these 50-50? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this save button, and I'm going to give you this URL in the description link of the YouTube video. So pause the video, go get that link, and come on back. Okay, welcome back. Let's start trying to figure out how we can get this thing to be a 50-50 split so that the box, the black box is on the left and the purple box is on the right. So immediately you think, well, duh, Josh, 50%. So let's do it, 50%. We are displaying inline block currently, so that means that they should stack if there was enough room to stack, but there's a little trick going on here, and that is we have a border. So this border on the container is kind of jacking up the ability we have, and so the problem with this border, and 50% is the box model. So right now we have to go a little bit lower than that. We have to do like 49.5%, maybe 0.6, 0.7. There we go. That's pretty close. And so 49.7, I think 48 will break it. Yep, 47 breaks it. And then if we try to bring it down, okay, that works. So if you're coding along with me, we've just taken 49.7%. Kind of a weird number, but it works because it's showcasing our boxes and they're next to each other. The problem with this is, like, what if we wanted to introduce margin or something to this box, or padding? Well, let's look at padding first. So let's say we wanted to have percent-based padding, so it made everything really nice as we scrolled down. Well, let's try it out. Remember, the shorthand code for two values is top and bottom, and the second one is left and right. So we're going to introduce 5%. Notice that the boxes are still next to each other, but we've introduced 5% padding on the inside. At the very tip top, I have all elements having box sizing border box, which you should know what that is. If you don't, go Google that one. It's really important, but that's why the percentages go into the box and they don't increase our width. So that's a really cool thing to learn about. So that's pretty cool. We can actually increase this to like 45% up and we bump out. So there still are constraints inside here that we want to follow. But I don't think anybody would have 45% padding inside of a box with one line of text. But margin, on the other hand, could get a little interesting. So let's introduce, we don't need top or bottom, but we do need left or right. So let's introduce maybe like 2%. So boom, we just dropped down. As you type 2%, this thing just drops down. So type with me and go ahead and let's try 1%. That's not good enough. 0.5%. Not good enough. 0.25%. So basically, any percent over 0 has bumped us down. So what do? Well, we have to take the 2%. And remember, we're using it on the box right here. So it's 2% on each side. 2, 4. Okay? So 2, 4. Oh, that's what's going on. So we have 4%. So 49 minus 4 is 45. Oh, there we go. So now we've followed the rules of staying under 100%. If we go above 100%, then we will see exactly what happened here. So even 1% over. So we have to maintain our box model integrity under 100%. Okay, so this little exercise really showcased a couple things. Number one, we have to have a max width on our outermost container. Number two, we still have to have a percent-based layout on that container. Or sorry, percent-based width. The boxes inside of it, we had to mess around with the numbers to make sure we got our 50-50 split. And then when we introduced margin, it bumped us over that 100% threshold. Padding, on the other hand, did not have any issues with that. So that was very interesting. All right, now what I want you to do is pause the video, go get the other link. It's going to say exercise 2. And go get that link and come on back. All right, this challenge is just for you. So what I want you to do is take the next probably 5 minutes, and the challenge is going to be this. Eliminate the scroll bar. So the scroll bar is back. I need you to study the code and eliminate the scroll bar by introducing a percent-based layout inside of this p tag. So it should probably take 5 minutes. So go do that now. Come back for the solution. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully it wasn't too hard. There's a couple tricky things. Number one, remember, we have to change the width. So it's a good practice just to go, well, max width on the outermost container and then width 100%, right? So now we have all of our stuff because max width is going out. It's still acting like it's 800, but check it out. We've come down here and now we've got that responsive goodness that we came here for. So at this point, I would challenge you to keep playing around with this and push the H1 tag around, give it different widths, play around with it, go back to the other example, play around with that, and get really familiar with percent-based layouts so that you can be prepared for the lesson. That's all I got today. Thanks.